So, a couple of minutes after I released the Jalen Ramsey video, I just figured out that the Dolphins somehow were able to acquire three-time All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. I don't know how this happened. It looks like a player-for-player trade, something you just don't see too often, but it happens. Minkah Fitzpatrick is on his way to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, it's a good trade for the Dolphins, who needed to get rid of Ramsey because he didn't want to be there anymore. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to break down everything you need to know about this trade, why Minkah Fitzpatrick could change everything for this Miami Dolphins defense. Yes, they might need a corner, but Minkah to the Dolphins, I guess it just makes sense. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to break down the film. Before we dive in, comment down below a letter grade for this trade. Let me know what you guys think about Minkah back to Miami. And hit the like button, subscribe, join the family. I mean, geez. Let's just break it down. Now, Minkah is coming off slightly a worse year than he has in prior seasons, and I believe it wasn't fully out there, but some people were saying that Minkah was his time was almost up in Pittsburgh, right? He was starting to, get antsy and want to leave that organization. Now, last season, he ranked about 39th among all safeties in total coverage grade. He ranked about 37th when it came to run defense grade. So overall, a solid safety. And this is all safeties. This isn't just free or strong. It's all. So not bad. Ranks in the top half, right? There's 32, 64 starting safeties in the NFL. And he's within the top 40 of both run defense and coverage grade. So not bad at all. Did have about 69 total tackles or solo tackles last season. Ranked about 24th out of 171 safeties. 31 receptions allowed. Not bad. It's actually pretty damn good as a safety. So let's just break down some of his film from this past season. Now, I think my favorite thing about Minkah is his ability to read, react, and attack from the third level of a defense. Does a really good job in run defense, and again, just being able to read the play before it actually happens, right? So right here, all we're going to do is we're going to read these offensive linemen. We start to see they all gravitate to the outside, right? Now, the most dangerous part of a run play, guys, is essentially the cutback lane. Now, what does that mean? As we start to get everyone downhill this way, this cutback lane could be explosive, right? So he notices he has his guys getting to the outside, trying to contain that edge. So he says, why would I do the same thing? It just doesn't really make sense. Let me protect that cutback lane, and let me make sure if he does bounce back, I'm there, right? And boom, no yards. No yards at all gained on that play. And if he overcommits to the wrong side, to the outside, look at it, right? Kyle Pitts, his main job here is to get to Minkah. Right? That's his main job, because they would rather have a one-on-one with Bijan in the corner compared to Bijan and Minkah Fitzpatrick, right? So Kyle Pitts, he needs to go get him, right? And he just makes the right decision and makes a big-time play. That's why you love Minkah Fitzpatrick. Now, when you look at their defense from last season, the Dolphins were actually pretty damn good. 9th overall in points allowed per game, 12th in terms of yards allowed per carry. Maybe Minkah Fitzpatrick can help them out a little bit there, but Jalen Ramsey was one of the best run stuffers in the NFL at the cornerback position, so this could kind of be a wash for now. And then, right, everything here, he's not someone who generates too many interceptions. I believe had one last year, maybe 0 the year prior. Let's go back, 2023. Yeah, he had 0. 2022, he had 6. Okay, so if he can have one of these type of years, right, that would be huge. And then back to 2021, 2. Just trying to see 4. So he can get up there, right? He can force some interceptions. But overall, adding him to this defense, I don't think it makes too much of a difference in terms of run defense and just because Jalen Ramsey was good at the same things, right? But I will say, Minkah Fitzpatrick is not a bad player. This dude is really good. Honestly, when you look at the secondary room for them going into the offseason or going into training camp, right? Ashton Davis, I mean, again, that's tough. Is he going to be a good player? I just don't know, right? And then you got Melifonwu. Is he going to be a good player? I don't know. They needed a safety extremely bad and said, you know what? Let's go get an all-pro. Let's trade the guy that wants to be traded in Jalen Ramsey. It leaves us with Kader Kahu. It leaves us with Cam Smith, who hopefully can develop a little bit. Storm Duck, who they do like. And then from there, you bring in Artie Burns and Kendall Sheffield and Ryan Cooper Jr. You also have Jason Marshall, who they drafted in this year's 5th round. So overall, you know, they do lose a great player at corner, but add a great player at safety. But before we get any further into this, make sure you do me a big favor, guys. Hit the like button if you want more Miami Dolphins videos. I haven't covered the Dolphins too much this offseason. However, if this video does well, maybe I'll just post a lot more going forward. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family. And like I said, if you guys want it, I'm going to be covering them throughout the entirety of not only training camp practices, but also preseason football, breaking down film, right? Regular season football, breaking down film. If you guys want me to cover the Dolphins more, comment down below more Dolphins or P2, right? Well, either or. And I might just do it. So with that being said, let's dive a little bit more into this Miami Dolphin team. Are they ready to compete? They might need a little bit more. But again, Minkah coming in here, at least you're not losing Jalen Ramsey for nothing. You're getting a great player in return. Alright, here's another play I wanted to show you guys versus Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl winning Philadelphia Eagles. Again, you can put him up in the box. You can move him around. You can play a lot of different positions, but he's so good when it comes to getting stops in the backfield. Look at this play here by Minkah Fitzpatrick. I mean, reads it absolutely perfectly. Disengages from the tight end's block here, right? Gets right by, and then boom, makes the tackle in the backfield on Saquon Barkley. Overall, this is interesting. I like the addition of Minkah because they didn't lose Jalen Ramsey for absolutely nada. So I do think it's a good trade. Player for player trade. I think the Steelers got a little bit better today. I think the Dolphins, because they had to get rid of Ramsey, got a little bit better today. I think this is one of those rare win-win scenarios on a player-player trade because both guys wanted to be traded. I think there was small, quiet rumblings that Minkah wanted to leave as well. There was rumblings and everyone knew that Ramsey wanted out, and they essentially said, let's just trade disgruntled players and leave it at that. And that's exactly what they did. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next update. Peace.